Okay, thank you. How about that, Steve? That should be thumbs up because I see the green. I know why it wasn't. I saw it easily, fixed it. So, can you hear me? You're reading me 5 by 5, brother. Alrighty. Awesome. Don't live stream too often, but OBS Studio, it's pretty simple to figure out how to do it. So I'm going to be doing a little bit more live streaming with this. So as people come in, I'll greet you and we'll say hi and we'll say hey and we'll say stuff like that and we'll put awesome. So guys, thanks for coming in. APBA chatter is in already. Good to see you. How's it going, good sir? First one to enter the contest because at 1,200 subscribers, we're going to be giving away a copy of Mr. President, the American Presidency from 2001 to 2020. It is an apolitical game where you are the President of the United States and you are given very little to do a whole awful lot. You're not going to have enough of the game's currency in order to pull off everything that you need to do. You got to put the fires out as best you can. But this is more than anything else, this is an unboxing. So let's go ahead and do some unboxing. Things are great, Steve, they really are. Heat hit this summer and heat always knocks me in the dirt for about a week or so. But nah, I'm out of it. I've got my second wind. I'm good to go. I'm getting through the hot and humid here in Delaware, and yeah, things are good. Things are very good. Thank you for asking, sir. But yeah, let's go ahead and check this out. Oh, let me move that out the way because we don't need that so much. We may just put it right there, up a little. Yeah, face. Oh man. Let's get the keyboard slid up here, and mousy mouse, and the dice tower. Game, Mr. President. Man, I'm so happy it's here. I really am. So happy this thing has finally showed up. My wife taught me how to make bacon jerky, so things couldn't be better. There's only one thing in the world, Steve, that's better than bacon. Only one thing in the world better than bacon. More bacon. Game design, Gene Billingsley. He said that he took his time. This took like 7 or 9 years for him to design, and it is the game that he always wanted to design. And I take that as his stamp of approval. He didn't chintz on anything. I've seen a lot of plays of this, and I'm so ready. I am. Let's dig in, nice and easy, through the shrink. Again, this box isn't in the greatest. It got punched before it got put in the shipping box because the shipping box was in immaculate shape. I'm not asking for anything. This happened at the factory. It did. And you'll see, I personally do not care one iota. I really don't. I've got some games downstairs that have chintzed up boxes a little bit. So what? It's what's on the inside, man, for me. It's what's on the inside. And there's a lot on the inside of this one, let me tell you. Oh. Shrink. Now, the test of a good game. Okay? Before we open it, this isn't the test, by the way. Well, look at the back art. I mean, we've seen others, but we get the back art. I've got myself a patriotic mug with a picture of Washington crossing the Delaware. I didn't get a White House or Oval Office or anything, but I had to have a mug so that way I had it when I was playing it. And it's got pictures of the crisis cards, game turn track. It's got the world locations for crises and what other areas do, and you got the turn track behind you. Well, what are we doing? Let's just show you. All right. It says one player. I suppose two players could play it. I'm not sure. We'll find out at some point. 8 to 12 hours. I'm counting on 12 plus. Complexity, medium, solitaire, suitability, 9 at the top. It is a solitaire game. It's made for solitaire. Age 14 plus, so that way they didn't have to worry about inspecting the small pieces. I know what it is. That's fine. Doesn't bother me a bit. Oh, okay. The true test of a game. Does it have that new box suck? Oh no, no built-in new box suck. Oh no. That's okay. I can live with that. Yeah, as you can see, it came through the back, but fortunately it did not damage the letter or anything on the inside. So no, I'm totally fine with a box that has a scratch or two on it. It's not the only one I have that's that way. It's not a deal breaker at all. Alrighty, no new box suck. And we'll go over this stuff when we get to where we're setting it up and we're getting ready to actually play the game. But it does come with the letter from the former president. And it's to the successor, which is us. P-Jet, how is it going? Good to see you, brother. Glad you can make it out. Hail to the chief. He is sitting here in your room. We have the turn sequence flip book, and how the game plays is basically you're going to go through the turn sequence, vertical columns moving left to right, and every single page is going to tell you how to do the next one you get onto. So the turn sequence flip book, that is going to be your best friend in the game. It's going to be handy. And they've got how to play, small little 8-page book for those who want to learn how to just read the basics of how it plays. And then you have the governing manual, which is a further clarification of rules. And as needed, you can go ahead and consult this. It's got a very detailed index. If I recall, it's about 48 pages. Yep, 48 pages. Just a further definition and clarification of rules and what certain things do. And I've already read through a couple of copies of this because GMT made these 3 downloadable and readable from their website about a month and a half ago. So, I mean, I've already read up on the books. Watched a few videos. Mike Butterjelly, Gene, and Tony's Board Life doing it last summer. P-Jet, am I going to have to buy a good suit and tie to play this? No, but no spoilers. Because you know me. It comes with domestic charts, anything that happens in the Con US or continental United States. It's got world charts. And you're going to see a cool thing with the board. Because all of these, WCB, WD, WM, WT, WCT, domestic charts, D, Ally and Rogue States, WA, World Peer Russia Acts. Whenever Russia has to act, you're going to go through this book. So this is a lot of time can go into Russia and China acting, but again, they have the WPR, WPC. Presidential briefing, example of play, and designer notes. I'm looking forward to really reading this. This will be cool. Have not seen this yet. And scenarios. So you can either do sandbox and start on your own, or you can do 2001, 2009, 2017, and 2020. And it gives you not I'm Bush, I'm Obama, I'm Trump, I'm Biden. It gives you a world setup for the way things are kind of in the world, and it gives you that kind of scenario, so that way I can do better. Good luck. The cart, and we're going to punch these out as we go. I need to decide what I want to do as far as storage. So this is going to be a long video because I'm going to punch this stuff out and I'm going to sleeve some cards. Well, you got some good ones: regional stability, regional crisis, alignment, U.S. military footprint, Iran influence, influence markers, counters, U.S. UK, whether there's a war, UN goodwill counters, estranged, and on the flip side, very close. So that way you know what your relationship is with certain nations throughout the world. And here you have your terror group counters, China influence. You have possible allies and enemies in Congress. You got your China, all of your China stuff here. A couple of unilateral sanctions markers there. Rogue state of war, rogue state level 1 and 3, and then of course the transverse gives the other of those. And then you've got some more markers here: United States Marine Corps, UN sanctions, strategic capabilities. These will be on the strategic capabilities tracks that are on the left board. POTUS cabinet priority. This is what you're going to place on your 6 different things to see how well that the cabinet is able to carry things out, such as state of the economy, relationship with the press, stuff like that. You have your crisis chits. You're going to draw these, and these will dictate how many crisis cards you're going to do. Sometimes only 1, but sometimes up to 3 if you get a crisis chit with a plus sign on it, like that plus sign right there. Tension markers, legislative bills that you can introduce and hopefully pass. Other military markers for the possible wars that might happen. AP markers, which are presidential action. I thought they were they are APs though. Yeah, actions, presidential, perhaps. I don't know. We'll find that out. Tensions, +1, +2, no effect. Different things. Yeah, AP is presidential actions. +1, the transverse of this was -1. And I'm going to move this over here because I'm not putting my hands in this part of the screen too awful much. So let's just get my big fat ugly mug right out the way. Civil wars can happen in various regions around the world. Conflict status, relationships between opposing nations, not necessarily the U.S., like Korea, South Korea, North Korea, Israel and neighbors, Israel and Iran, stuff like that. All kinds of stuff, man. And then we have our domestic master action tables. Boom, boom. And I caught the end of ID Jester's stream last night with Mike Butterjelly, and he said to study these and get used to these so that way you know what to do. So you're used to it. Like domestic master actions, only POTUS, the vice president, chief of staff can do these actions. And then it tells you, attempt to stimulate the economy. Why? Attempt to improve the state of the economy and remove negative effects of a failing economy. When? During any activation segment in which domestic actions can be taken. So for each one of these, it tells you why you might want to do it, when you're going to do it, and also what the cost of it might be. So I need to really study up on these just to know how to find the rules quickly. Not necessarily to memorize them, but just to know how to find the rules quickly. That's the purpose of really reading up on that. Thank you, IDJ, and thank you, Mike Berticelli, game developer, for this. You have counter holders for various kinds of things. You have your war table. You can have up to 5 wars extant in the world. If there are 6, auto lose. Don't want to do that. We have the maps, and we'll get back to the maps in a little bit. Unlike ID Jester, who compulsively went straight to the maps when he said he was going to put them aside. Me, I love IDJ, but I'm a man of my word. I'm going to be good at this game. We'll stick these right here. We have the dice. The dicks are here. We have a D10. We have a D6. We got to make sure they work. Okay. We got to make sure they work. Let's see. We want to have, let's see if they work. Got to roll a 1. 3, not bad. We got to roll a 4. 9. That one's broken. I'd like a replacement. Die 10, please. Just kidding. We have the dice. And we have cards. Oh, the cards. Oh, and these are our crisis cards and various other cards as well. I know not to mix them up, but I am going to sleeve these. Let's see. Anything underneath the thingy-mabob? No, nothing there. That's fine. Let's look at the maps, and then we'll chat a bit, and we're going to go ahead and punch and figure out storage and just, you know, do stuff. That's kind of glary, isn't it? Let's do that. Yeah, yuck. That's glary. Yucky. I may just turn that one off. Don't need it right now. Think. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Alrighty. So for now, we'll put the cards back in here. We're going to do maps, then markers. That's what we're going to do. Alright. So let's set the box aside. I definitely want to read these over, so I'm going to keep them out. I figure we're going to do this, and then our next video, probably tomorrow night, is going to be sandbox setup. And then we'll go from there, because I ain't messing around. I'm playing a game. I am playing a games. Alrighty, let's look at some maps. And we'll point out to you what all of the different portions of the maps are, because I've watched enough of these. I'm pretty much kind of familiar with them. First, we have the map board that will go on the left. Just so you know, this is going to leave a very huge and daunting footprint. You've got to have a large area dedicated to this that you can leave it set up. You really do. There's not going to be tear it down and put it back up. If you're really dedicated to it, you can do that. But this is definitely a just set it up and leave it there kind of thing. It really is. Alright, so you can see those crisis cards, you're going to have 4 years. Let's do this first, so that way you can see what most of these might be about. Okay, let's do this first. You've got your turn sequence on the main game board, okay? Ron, how's it going? Good to see you, man. Glad you can make it out. We are tearing into this big chunky boy. This is where everything is going to happen, the turn sequence table, the turn sequence chart. You're going to start here, and you're going to go down the column, and each space you land on tells you what it is time for you to do, and then you're going to do this, 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 this. There's a lot of actions here. It's a lot of stuff you can do. This is 1 year of your presidency. This is 1 year in office. Eric, what's going on, man? Glad you can make it. Good to see you. And you're going to do this 4 times. So basically, 1 time through the whole thing is year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. Just wanted to show you that, so that way you can see what some of the other things are. The crisis cards that we showed you are going to get divided into 4 piles, I believe, of 30. We'll find out for sure when we set the game up tomorrow or whenever we do it here very shortly. And the first one is going to go here. Year 2 will go here. Year 3, year 4. So year 1, your first time through the turn sequence track, is going to come from the crisis cards here. And then you may draw them. And then you may put them into a reshuffle pile. That way if you go through them. You may have a lingering effect, which could go into the 2 deck. So you're going to put it here. And then when you go to year 2, you're going to take that pile and anything that can come back up, a recurring effect, shuffle them together, and then that's going to be your crisis deck for the current year, year 3, year 4. You have nuclear missile tracks. You don't want Iran or North Korea getting too strong, because that can bad things happen. You have your strategic capabilities. comparing you to Russia and China, Air Force training and tech, ground forces, naval forces, cyber warfare, space warfare, strategic missiles, missiles defense, and strategic recon intelligence gathering. And then also U.S. military assets legislative holding box right here. So that's your strategic capabilities track. Here you have your conflict tracks, which is where you keep track of conflicts around the world, like I said earlier, between different parties. India versus China, India, Pakistan, Russia, NATO, Russia, Ukraine, China, Japan, Republic of Korea, Democratic People's Republic of Korea, Israel, Iran, Israel and neighbors, Gulf states and Saudi Arabia against Iran, and U.S. and Iran. And anytime it makes it to the bottom of any of these tracks, it is a war, and it's going to go on the far side of the main game board, which we will show you. You want to keep it that way. Keep it up here. Tells you where to start. Different situations may start you in a certain position different from that, but you want to keep away from war. You have your legislative area, which is right here. Bipartisan cooperation, easier to get bills passed, harder to get bills passed. You're going to have congressional friends and opponents listed here. Pending bills are going to be moved up and down to strong support or cannot be passed. And anytime you see a plus or a minus number like this, that's a DRM, a die roll modifier off the D10. And it will tell you what to do. You have passed and signed bills this turn, unused bills that haven't been used yet. And then you have your relationship tracks with world opinion of the U.S., relationship with Congress, relationship with the media and homeland security. And then you have the state of the economy. And the higher this is, the more you're able to do. You get more presidential actions at the beginning of your turn, at the beginning of the year. Or if it's bad, you get less if you're down in recession. That is the smaller of the game boards. The larger of the game boards is kind of, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Larger. Let's continue where we left off. You've got your turn sequence track, as we showed you. And it is going to offer you various times to be able to do U.S. State of the Economy impact. POTUS cabinet can take actions, one action for the president and each cabinet member. Russia or China acts, whichever one does it here, the other one would do it there. Any three actions, meaning POTUS or cabinet actions, anything that they can do. And it can be anything from taking care of the war situations to taking care of problems in world regions to working on your relationship with Congress to trying to get bills passed. Well, there is legislative for that. I apologize. I digress. Legislative segments. So there are places built in to be able to do that. Draw chits from a container to see what crisis might come up. And draw one, and then if it has a plus, draw again. If it has a plus, draw again. And you can draw three in a row in certain places on the turn track. So bad things can happen. You have your scandal track. So, yeah. I've got a problem. But I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'll let it come out here in the scandal track. Breaking scandals, any of your cabinet positions or the POTUS yourself. Cabinet effectiveness indicates how many presidential APs you're going to get. This is your AP track right here. We'll get to that in a minute. You also have your executive area. So you're going to start with attributes. You're going to select cabinet positions, VP, Chief of Staff, Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, public legislative priorities, what the public wants done, and then your legislative priorities along with a campaign promise. And then you have improve relations, economy, homeland security, public press relations, address domestic crises, and cabinet effectiveness. And you can choose 1 through 6 how important this is for you. And the higher it is, the easier the die roll is going to be for you to be able to take part of one of these responses over here. Cabinet drama, cabinet improvement, but a lot of the things that you need to do, it tells you how to do it right here on the board in the places. Let's say you're successful with Homeland Security. You decrease one terror group, one rank, in the U.S. by one level. Con U.S. Right there. There can be a terror group in there, but you can decrease them. If none, +1 to Homeland Security, and then -2 to public approval. Public approval is a big thing. You're going to start at 40, which will go ahead and show you your public approval track. We can close this up. Public approval track is down here along the bottom of this portion of the board underneath the world zones. And you're going to start at 40 and you go up and down, and it allows you to have a better roll, have a worse roll in some situations, or allow something good to happen or something bad is easier to happen depending on what your public approval is. Your prestige track and your AP's track is going to be here. Your action points, your legacy points, which is your final score. You're going to keep track here. And then, of course, the wonderful people who brought you this game: Gene Billingsley, game designer, game developer Mike Berticelli, graphic design Donald Haggerty and Terry Leeds, GMT Games. Of course, game turn track 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are the regions across the world that can be affected by what you do and can affect what you do. Now you're going to see some things, say, if the regional crisis jumps up and you have to put it on major crisis, there's a little WD1 right there on that space. So you know you're going to be going to, wait for it, let me find it, because this is really cool the way they did it. World charts, WD1, regional major crisis. You know exactly where in the books to go to take care of if this happens. And these little letters and number designations directing you to a chart are all through the game. And once you realize that and you're like, oh, okay, I need to grab that book real quick, it makes the game go so much better. They really built facility into the game. They really did, it seems like. I'm so looking forward to doing this. But here you can have terror groups, you can have influence by China or Russia. And if China or Russia get too much influence, you can have a loss. So you don't want them to be too influential. So yeah, that is the game boards. So, what are you guys thinking? Have you guys ordered the game yet? Have you guys received the game yet? Have you seen the video about the 1200 sub giveaway that I've got going on? For when I get to 1200 subs, I'm giving away a copy of this game. I ordered 2. And the reason I did that was I didn't do it for that purpose. I really didn't. I wasn't intending to do that. But I saw a lot of people commenting, man, at $99, there's no way I can reasonably afford to do that. It looks good, but on a big chunky solo like that, man, I can't take that chance. I got to see more. This is for those people who didn't catch on to the game until after the price went off pre-order $52 up to $99. And anybody else who wants to get it, for whatever reason you didn't. But, you know, anybody is, according to the rules, able to enter this thing, and we are going to be giving a copy of this away. IDJ said rounded counter corners. That doesn't matter the most to me, but nah, that's cool. That's cool. Because I have some games like Fortress Europa where the counter is square peg in a hexagonal hole, and you have exactly that much space, and if there's any tear tags, it's ungodly. I can understand preferring rounded corners. I really do. And saving the time on having to clip every single one, because I got arthritis in my thumbs, and if I go crazy with it, it kind of makes things hurt. It really does. So we have, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with storage. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with storage. I have these little plastic boxes like this, which the paper separator holder thingy would have to come out no matter what. I also have, if I can get it off so I can show you. I also have counter trays like that. They don't hold an awful lot. They're not too well. I mean, they do a little bit. They're not the deepest, but they'll probably hold a good this size. 2, 3, 4, 5, a good 15 to 20 perhaps. So a good amount of them would go in these trays. Got them off Amazon, nice and cheap. Same with these. Got them off Amazon, nice and cheap. And this is what I'm using for my Memoir 44. Yeah, APVA chatter. I like the games with rounded corners. I do also. It looks neater. It's got a neater look. It's got a better feel to it. I really, they went all out with this. I mean, it's top-notch quality of the components. No flimsy, yucky, rattle trap stuff in this game. I like it. It feels like a big chonky boy. So I'm going to separate counters best I can. They punch out nice and easy. Look at that. Punching right out. So this is estranged and very close. We'll make a stack of those. And for in-game, depending on how many I need, I save these little Pringles single serving things. They're opaque. You can put counters in them. Hold it like that. Shake them up a little bit. Put it down. Draw one. Or, and I saw ID Jester and others talking about it, and I've got like 20 of these dice shakers, and that would certainly work. Something like that. And what I'll probably do, along with the giveaway, depending on how I do this, but I may send a couple of these trays, and I may send about 10 of these, so that way they have that if they want to use it, you know, so that way they don't have to worry about, oh, how am I going to do this? Now I got to get all these coffee cups all over the table. And no. We're going to hook somebody up. If we do this, we're going to hook them up. UN Goodwill, there was a holding place for that, so these can simply be a pile. 2, 3. So yeah, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to chat with people while I'm punching and organizing counters. These are war tokens, so we're going to keep those together. All right. And these can be used for anything, but these are basically counters for side strength in wars. So that way you know how many units or how much strength they have present. And that is something you need to keep track of as well. U.S. war. We have Israel wars. And the one thing I really do appreciate about this game, it is apolitical. It's not saying I think Biden is great or I think Brandon sucks. It's not saying Donald Trump is making America great again. It's not saying Donald Trump is an Oompa Loompa on parade. It's not saying anything about any political affiliation. It is giving you situations like gun legislation. One of your priorities is gun legislation. It's up to you in your mind as to whether your priorities are lessening of restrictions so that way law-abiding citizens can purchase and carry firearms, or making restrictions greater so that way you are more able to keep firearms out of those people who are committing felonies. Hopefully I'm being apolitical in my statements, because I definitely lean one way over the other. But that's what this game does. It takes the... You don't have to worry about playing a game that favors one side or the other. You are the side. You are the one who is getting stuff done the way you want to, and there's no two ways about it. Let's see. This, I think, is our cabinet priorities. So they need to kind of go right about there. Iran influence. I never saw Iran influence come up in any of the things that I watched. Granted, it wasn't a lot of them. It was Tony's Board Life on Tabletop Simulator. It was a little bit of Gene going on about the game. It was not much else as far as gameplay, really. But I'm familiar with how a lot of this is supposed to work. I've got a lot of book knowledge. I don't have any experience. There's a lot of facets in my life like that. I've got a lot of knowledge. I just haven't put a lot of that knowledge to use. Yeah, I play games and know things. Right, guys? Oh, man. Yeah. Also prefer punch outs over perforated sheets. Yeah. I mean, there's something very satisfying about pushing through and feeling the counter hit the table beneath. It's almost like boots marching. I love it. Current turn. That's going to go there. Let's get these counters punched out. Do you guys have any questions about the game? Like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with it at all. I do have a lot of knowledge. I've watched and read a lot, and I can give some unexperienced opinions about things. This would be a great time to ask questions. It would. So if there's anything on your minds about Mr. President, I will do my best to answer them for you. Dink, dink, dink. I'm not going to answer questions about my own personal political affiliation. That has no place on my channel. It never has, and it never will. We get enough of that in our daily lives that we need somewhere to go where we don't have to worry about crap like that. Well, guys, this is one of those places where you can go and you don't have to worry about crap like that. Phoenix Knight, how's it going? There's also a balancing act with the counters hitting the table because you have to make sure that you know where they land. But I've got about a quarter to a half inch kind of thing right there. So my finger is actually pushing them into the table, and it's kind of where they're staying. It's just how I've always done it. I didn't want to chase them all over the place. I saw you doing that the other day. I was like, ah, you poor guy. But yeah, just push them right into the table, and then pick your finger up, move on to the next one. Unilateral sanctions. I think I'm going to put that for the moment where current turn is. These are all sanctions. Okay, multilateral, unilateral. So how are you doing tonight, Phoenix? It's good to see you, man. I'm glad you could make it in. If you're interested, enter that contest, man. Enter that contest. Again, I've got a video. You need to go and watch the video. Just put it up about an hour ago or so. But we're going to have a 1200 sub contest, and you need to like that video. You need to have been a subscriber of the channel for a week, and you need to comment in that video, "Hail to the Chief." And, hopefully for those of us who are interested in that kind of thing, what about this game intrigues you and makes you want to get it and play it? For me, it really is one simple truth. I love punishing games. I love games that don't let me off the hook. This is going to be one of those beautiful masterpieces. I just know that it is. Let me move this over here. I like that. make you guys have to see me better, whether you like it or not. Oh man, no, God, I can hardly wait. I'm gonna get these punched out, work out storage, sleeve some cards, but then we're gonna be doing sandbox setup, and we're going to work our way through this game. That's just the way it is. Phoenix Knight got my second workout in this afternoon, and now having dinner before I make a couple videos tonight. My end of June recap and a pretty sizable product unboxing. Guys, check out Phoenix Knight. Fantastic channel, awesome guy, fun. We did our top 50 list with him and Higher Ground Gaming and ID Jester. And man, he's got some really good stuff on there. He's getting into war games big time with the War Rooms 10 game in 2023 challenge. He's got a lot of Arkham Horror and other games and everything. Fantastic board game channel. Check him out. Check him out. Let's see. These are going to be China markers. They can kind of all go together somewhere. Dink, 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 dink. Get out of there. Boom. China base. And then +1 AP China. We'll put the China ones over here out the way a little bit. And these are all China influence markers. They have a whole bunch of them. You can't record more than 15, but I guess you could have a turn where you end up with 25 of them. You have to have them on there so you know you need to take them off. Boom. China markers go over here. And these are on the world influence side. It's also, and that's another thing with this. And I've heard it mashed into my cranium and my gray matter, a mantra ad nauseum. Organize the counters. Makes it a whole lot easier to find things. And if you get to a point where you're getting the game out and they're organized, much easier for setup because you know where the counters are. Do I have any other rogue state ones? No. But these are going to go over here as well. Rogue state counters. Goes with that. Regional, no, estranged tokens are going to go there. No, these are different. These are actually in the regions of the world. That's where these go. So these are going to go together. Regional troops, military footprint. I think these go here. I'll have to make sure. I think these go in the war areas. So we'll put those with the wars. UN goodwill is kind of going to go over here. Not sure about Iran. The counters, that's that. Regional stability, regional crises. Okay, regional alignment. So these kind of go together. Those I'm not sure if they go with these or with these or with the wars. I'm just trying to keep stuff organized as I go so that way I can figure out what kind of storage I'm going to use. We have our cabinet members. We have our congressional allies and opponents. So these are all going to go. Are they flip side? No. Okay, they're the same either way. All right. So we'll probably separate opponents and allies. I'm thinking. Any other questions, guys? What's been going on with you guys? How you doing, man? We have, like I said, we haven't done live in a long time, and it's cool to catch up with you guys. I miss you guys. I really do. I'm so lonely. Doing well at the parts store, selling spark plugs and taking names. 4th of July weekend is coming up. End of the month is coming up. kind of a slow day at the store today. Not bad, but had some returns with the end of the month and people wanting to get returns done so they don't have stuff on their statements that they're not using, kind of thing. You know, and it is what it is. You take stuff back. Phoenix Night, or get to know new psycho stalkers like yours truly. Yeah, baby, that's right. You've got to embrace the crazy from time to time. You've got to embrace the crazy. These go here. Yeah, all these kind of go here. That is executive. That's legislative. Embrace the crazy, the cray-cray. We have terror groups. Yeah, that's right. The very satisfying punching of the counters. It's part pushing down on the counters with your index fingertip, part lifting up on the counter sheet as well. It's a conjoined effort. Dink. Counter sheet 2 is done. Yep, these are terror group level 1, level 3, and the transverse is level 2, level 4. Phoenix Knight, I'm beginning to think I might need to send you a straight jacket. I like the jackets that are a hug. Oh, man. Make that a... I wear 5X tall comfortably, so make it a 4X with a tight under the crotch strap. We'll be good. Make it a 3X if you really want to see me get squirrely. Oh, man. Doody-doo. Things have been good. Family is doing well. Actually got a bunch of board... surprising for me because I've not been that active in the past 2 or 3 years on the channel, sporadically at best. I've done like 35 videos in the last month and a half. What the heck is going on with me? And having Mr. President, I'm looking forward to... Honestly, every time I sit down at the table... Every time I sit down at the table to play this game, cameras are rolling. Cameras are rolling. I want to show this game off is what I want to do. I have that much faith in it. I just want to show this game off and nothing else. Conflict type counters, so that is war. Dink, 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 dink. That goes over here. These are war counters. Cascading events. I'm not sure about that. Oh, with the crisis cards. Okay, I didn't want to punch that quite yet. All right. Let's get all the war counters out. Hamas, Hezbollah, Pakistan, China. All of the war counters are out. Okay, so we can put all of those over theirs. ISIS, Al-Qaeda, okay. Yeah, so all of the war ones are going there on the right. So that way this stuff is kind of together. All the ones that go on the war tables. That little sheet that I had out. Doug Hunt, how is it going, man? Good to see you. Glad you can make it this evening. We're tearing into a chunky old big boy. Mr. President showed up today, and I don't know if you knew or heard, I uploaded a video. I got 2 copies of this game, and I'm giving one away. Just for those of you who may be watching, not participating in the chat, go to my channel and check out about a 6-minute, 17-second upload from about an hour and a half ago. And it lays out a 12,000 sub giveaway, and that's going to involve giving away a copy of Mr. President. So check that out. Absolutely check that out. But yeah, Doug, glad you can make it, man. How's it going? How is everything going this evening? I hope all is well with you in your neck of the woods. got our crisis chits. We know what those are. So let's go ahead and set these in place. These are going to go in the turn track area of the board. As far as like the little setup I have in my brain here. Regional summit. Regions! I keep saying like areas of the world. It's world regions. Got to use the proper nomenclature so that way I sound like I know what I'm talking about. Dink, dink. Okay, I'm starting to... and this goes there as well. Starting to incur on my territory here, so I want to shift about 2 inches to the left. No, this does, Doug. Like I said, I've been looking forward to this for a year. A lot of the guys have been looking forward to this for a lot more than that. A lot more than that. But yeah, just, man, I'm loving it. I really am. Just thinking about how this game is going to punish me is reward enough for punching these out and putting them in order. It really is. And not to mention I get to spend time with you good folks. Cyber attack used. That's going to be on this side of the game board. Cabinet focus priority is going to go right about there. Party relations is going to go there. Oh, there's one little tag on it. Daggone it. Come here. Little tag. Get off of there. Alright. I'm not sure about the DARPA rapid capabilities. That hasn't come up yet, so that's a big question mark. We'll put them up with the counters. Focus National Intel Collection. We'll leave them there. I know they get used in the regional portion of the map on the right, different areas of the world. We don't necessarily... Well, yeah, you're going to leave them there. Yeah. We'll put them over here with these guys. That's kind of where that goes. Haven't gotten to the Russia ones yet. Okay, trending U.S. opinion. Either anti or the transverse side is an up blue arrow, trending pro-U.S. And those go in the regions, so that way you know what their opinion of the U.S. is. Again, if you guys have any questions about how the game is played, about certain aspects of the game, again, I don't have experience playing the game, but I do have a lot of knowledge. I've watched a lot of stuff. I've read a lot of the books that were made available in PDF form before the game was released. And maybe I can answer any questions you might have to maybe think if this might be the game for you. And I'll try to be objective. I will try to be objective. I do promise I will try to be objective in answering those questions. Relative strength. Those are war tokens. So they're going to go over there. Now, these are the relationship track tokens on the lower left. I think that's where I'm going to put them for now. I'll find out for sure in a bit, but I'm going to put them right there. Taking up all my space. Keep doing it to myself. And put them up there. That's where I want to work. Allies, rogue groups. That is a turn track kind of thing. We'll put it right there. Strategic capabilities. This is those tracks on the right side of the board. So that is U.S. strategic capabilities. There ought to be 7 of those. 7 Russia, 7 China, if I recall correctly. So we'll put those there. 7 Russia, 7 China. Yep, okay. United States Marine Corps markers, and these are Marine Corps forces in the various regions around the world which help to quell rogue states, and also another one with a tag. quell rogue states, and also to help in wars. I believe they're multifaceted in that way. We'll see. Let's keep talking. And one of these times, Mike or Gene are going to happen upon this thing and be like, he's totally blowing smoke out his rear end. Don't. I don't know. But I think I got a decent understanding about the game so far. I really, truly do think I have a decent understanding. Sanctions. I have sanctions somewhere else. There's UN sanctions. Well, we'll put it with the multilateral and U.S. sanctions right there. Strategic capabilities. Russia acted, China acted. Those go right here. And doink, 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 doink. We only got 2 sheets left. Ear, ear, ear. That goes there. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go a while. We're coming up on an hour, but I'm not going to rush right on out of here. That way other people pop in, we can say hey. That's going to go there. And scandal markers for the 4 cabinet members and POTUS myself. If you only knew the darkest thoughts going through my mind. No one knows the evil that lurks in the hearts of man, but the shadow knows. These guys are going to go right about there. Okay, 2 more. Attention markers like crazy. All right, well, let's get these. WMD acquired. That's going to be a regional thing as well, I believe. Let's do this. General counters. I'll put them up here. I'm not sure where they're used. WMD required, I'm sure, is a regional thing. So I'm going to put it over there for now. Tensions. Yes. These are blank. Just nondescript tension counters from the front. The transverse side is +1, +2 other things, and they are die roll potential die roll modifiers in regions for different actions that you wish to take. And more tensions can make different countries act more aggressively towards you. That can work in conjunction with trending pro or anti-U.S. sentiment in the regions. Just me talking about all these things. Hopefully you're getting the scope of all the different things that you've got to worry about as President of the United States while playing this game. This is not a coffee table, I'm going to be the president. This is a crunchy, you're the president, whether you stinking like it or not kind of game. It really is. Man, I'm so looking forward to playing this. I'm so looking forward to showing this to you guys. I really am. Tensions, we'll put them all over here. Dink, 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 dink. There are so many things that can make you regret life choices, like running for office. And this doesn't start with an election, and can you get elected, like 1960 making the president kind of thing. That is about an election. This puts you in the Oval Office sitting behind the Resolute desk. And that's where you start the game. You are POTUS, and it's up to you and the resources you have at hand to make the most not quite so bad decisions that you can with the limited resources that you are given. Oh, man. So looking forward to it. Can you tell? It's not like I haven't said that about 40 times so far in this live stream. Tension counters going here. Okay, then we have all of these others. Legislation, bills, Impeachment proceedings. No new legislation this turn. Okay, so these are going to go not far from the strategic capabilities because they're actually sitting right on the end of those tracks. So we'll put it over here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those go right there. Then we have war. War counters, special ops, Army light, Army heavy. Carriers can help military operations. They are placed in between regions in spots on the board where you would think that naval powers might be. War stuff goes over here. And these, yeah, they can be used in war, I believe, but they can also be used in the regional. So we're going to kind of put it between those. Army light, Army heavy. We'll put them there. We'll put them there. U.S. forces. Carriers. Intel advisors. Dink, dink, Intel / advisors. So what are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking about this? Is there any part that you would like to see again that we went over before? I know some of you guys came in late. If you want to see some of the rule books, or before we're done, we can go over the game boards again. Show you where things are, if you would like. Because this is for you guys. Okay, these are China and Russia. Regional stuff. We'll put them here. Boom, boom, boom. And U.S. Air Force, dink, dink. That's a war type thing. And we have one, count them, one counter sheet remaining. Let's give myself some room again. Strategic capabilities can go here. Legislation can go here. Not sure where the cyber attack used is going to happen. Okay, let's do this side first. We'll do conflict status. I know where that goes. That goes... pushed a civil war. I didn't want to push a civil war yet. Dr. Thumbs, that's what they call me on Xbox. These conflict. I think these are used for both the war and also for the tracks that follow the relationship between like Iran, Israel and neighbors, Gulf War states, and Saudi Arabia and Iran. I think that's what that is. Your party controls both houses. Administration priorities. Okay, administration priorities. These are presidential traits. Okay, so this is that. All right, let's punch the civil wars. Get them done. That's a regional kind of counter. Think. And ceasefire. Okay, so Civil War and Civil War ceasefire. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a regional one. So that'll go there. Civil War. I want to thank everybody for coming out that has popped in the chat so far. Doug Hunt, Phoenix Knight, thanks, brother. Apachatter. I said it right because it's you. Otherwise, I would have spelled it out the way I've always done it for the last 35 years. Eric C., Ron McGrath, P. Jet, Brava. Thanks for coming out, guys. I really do appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me here on a Thursday evening in the middle of nowhere. Civil War. And those of you who are watching from the grandstands and don't want to come into the chat and say anything, we don't bite much, so please join in. Anybody has any questions about this game, good time to ask, because I'm not in a hurry, and yeah, good time to ask questions if you have anything. Doesn't even have to be about this game. It can be about anything you want, really. I don't care. Administration priorities. Dink, 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 dink. Dear, 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 dear. Your party controls both houses. That's a legislative one. We'll put it with, where did I put the bills? Right there. Come here. That's legislative. Administration priorities. And here's what I talk about with apolitical. Okay? Let's just pick 3 examples. Energy independence. What side of the fossil fuels bill or renewable energy thing are you? If you are against energy independence, where it could be energy independence from other nations where we need to get the pipelines going. Or maybe you want personally against energy independence and you want to shut that stuff down and going the other direction towards dependence to become more one of the world kind of thing. It's apolitical. It's not demanding that you support one side of the aisle or the other. Social Security. Do you want Social Security dropped down, wiped out? Do you want to be able to use it for other things than it was originally intended? Or do you want a hands-off kind of thing? Social Security is Social Security and it needs to be there for those who are expecting and depending on it. This game is apolitical. Whatever you decide to do with the priority in your mind, that is you. The game is not saying that you have to be on one side of the aisle or the other. Privacy legislation. Do you want people to not be able to monitor phone stuff? Do you want people to not be able to sell your information? Or do you want to support that? So that it's 100% apolitical. There's nothing in here that is stating that the player is going to be Republican, Democrat, Independent, 2 midgets pooping in a bucket. It doesn't matter. It has no premises. It has no presumptions. It is putting you behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office, and it is saying, go ahead, punish yourself, have fun. That is all that it is saying. Nothing else. I love it. Immigration reform. Do you want to build that wall or do you want to let them all in and become a true melting pot? It's not saying that you have to be one side or the other. It is saying that it is up to you. Simply that immigration reform is one of your priorities. And whatever stance you take on it personally, that's totally up to you. But you've made it that level of a priority for your administration. We have presidential traits, which gives you boons and other things. You could be likable. You get +3 public approval per turn. So that's per year. An ally's best friend, +1 to 1 ally relationship per turn. Efficient, +4 presidential action points per turn. So there are different traits that you can have that are going to help you. You're this kind of president. Let's see. All these others, I'm not 100% sure. These are counters. Legacy points, they're going to go down here. Oh, China. Oh, flip side is Russia influence. Okay, so these are Russia influence. And China influence, that is that. So that's going to go over here. China base, Russia base. Okay. I was like, where the heck is all the Russian influence? It's the flip side. Got it. The transverse. Okay. Domestic crises. That's Con US. APs. Prestige. Those are counters. Cabinet effectiveness. Bipartisanship. Lingering domestic issues. Cabinet improving. Effectiveness improving. Supreme Court nominee. I'm thinking those go together. There is Iran and North Korea missile programs, so that's going to go over here with the I had the strategic capabilities. That's it. It goes with those. Okay. State of economy, state of economy, state of economy. China and Russia state of economy are going to go over here. EU state of economy is going to be a regional, I believe. What do we have here? We have just basic counters. Prestige, APs, plus 10, plus 20, plus 30. Domestic crises, that's going to be a regional thing, but for the U.S. Other just markers. They're going to go here. All these leaning towers of counter piles. They're getting ready to go like dominoes. No! I think this one is going to go there as well. These others I'm not totally familiar with. Current U.S. action. We know what that one is. Okay, that one goes there. Ally at war. And then we have whatever those are. Not familiar with some. I've known what almost all of these markers are, and I've never hardly opened the box, let alone played the game. So yeah, you got any questions, I'll be able to answer them, I think. I really do. Not toot my own horn, but toot toot. I'm a fart smeller. I mean a smart feller. Ally at war, not sure. China summit used, Russia summit used, not sure. Not sure about those. Not sure about those. Public priorities. That's going to go with the my priorities, I think. And they are buried. Nope. Administration priorities, public priorities. They go right there. Okay. Think. Boom. Boom. They go together. And only a few more. Economy improving. +2 to DRM, 2 next espionage, then remove. Intel rolls -1 die roll modifier, must choose Intel ally. No joint action ally. And that's it. That's all of them right there. Boom, boom. These have kind of got to go together. Economy improving, I think, is going to be for and economy worsening as well. So I think one of those is going to go with EU. 2 of those is going to go with Russia and China. One of those is going to go with the US. Because you mark all 4 of them, there's, and that's it. That's all the counters. That's a lot of counters. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times 10, 130 times 5, 650 counters, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, 650 counters. Yay, counters. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to use these trays for them. Boxes will be pell-mell, but we can put all the war stuff. That's not good. Alrighty. Give me about 2 or 3 minutes. I'll tell you what. We're going to take a short break. I want to step away. I've been sitting down for the last hour and 15. Getting this ready, hour and 30 minutes. So I'm going to say I'm going to be back. And I want to write when I'm going to be back. So that way people who pop in will know when I'm going to be back. Let's do this. Can we read it? Back at, it's 8:10. I'll be back at 8:20. I'm going to take about a 10-minute break, guys, and get yourself a snack, get yourself something to eat, get yourself a drink, whatever, and we will be right back. Thank you for pardoning the interruption. All right. Okay. Storage. I think I'm going to be using these things. I really do. I think we're going to put all the regional stuff in one. That's China and Russia. I think we're going to put all the regional stuff in one. Sanctions. Yeah, sanctions go in there. Regional crises. Regional stability. Terror groups. Going to go in there as well, and tensions. Now, terror groups and tensions, we'll see how many fit in here. Let's put all of these in like so. Okay. I could fit more in here. That's all the regional stuff on trending, anti-US. We'll leave a couple of those in with Russia. Those go in there. Terror groups and tensions could. I don't know that I want to do that though. I really don't know. Conflict status. I really think those are used for the wars. So I'm going to put 5 of those over with the wars. Anything else going in here with the regional stuff? A lot of wars stuff. It's going to take up extra space. But these are going to go here. All right, that goes there. I think that's all I'm going to do for that. That is regional. I've got 6 more. I'll see what kind of room I've got. This is how I think I'm going to do it. Yeah. So we got all the regional ones. Let's get terror group intentions. I'll make a box with that. And it's regional, but other things also. But that way there's really only 2 kinds of counters in this one. Let's do that. Terror groups, tensions, which is kind of regional. Not an awful lot of markers in that one. It's okay, there's going to be a lot in the wars. Okay. Let's do the war tokens. There's a lot of them. That'll fill up a box. Alrighty, so that, not sure where Intel Advisor goes. I'm keeping that out. We'll put the military stuff there. Carriers, Spec Ops, Hoorah, Army Light, Army Heavy, Aim High, War Counters, Warring Nations and Factions, Conflict Type Markers, Warring Nations, UN, Regional Peacekeepers, U.S. Military Footprints. Some of these will be used in regional for what you have in the regions to help to quell things and everything, but I think those are going to go there. Nice. I think I'm going to do one for the markers on, other than legislative, the markers on the left board. goodwill can go in here. Okay, that is that. Boom. No, that. These are traits, so they're going to go here. We'll do scandal. Going to do crisis chits. Yeah, let's see. The left. We're looking at priorities. They go over here as well. Public and legislative or administrative priorities. They go there. China and influence. Current turn. Current U.S. action. I'll probably get a little baggy for those. A little baggy with the dice. That sounds like the perfect place to put them. As long as I still have the little baggy somewhere. I'll find it. There it is. Current turn and current U.S. action can go in there, along with the deeks. Terrell, like so. Relative strength, conflict status are going in here. This is the ones on the left. Strategic capabilities, Iran and Korea nuclear programs. Anything else? See, I'm not sure where some of these are going to be used, so I don't know. Counters. +1 AP probably needs to go here. Not sure about DARPA. Those. I want to have legislative and turn track, China, Russia, counters, administration. So I'm going to have 7 of these things for now. That may change later, but I'm going to have 7 of these things for now. Party relations, Congress. That's part of legislative. It really is. Economy improving. I don't know that I want to put that in there either. I'll never find it. I might put that in here as well. Party relations. I might put that in there. And legacy points. I might put those right in here. Those are singular things. Okay, I've got left side I'm doing. And I'm not sure about the Iran influence. That almost seems like a kind of scenario one. I'm not sure. There's not a lot in here. I could reduce with baggies. So how you guys doing? You guys still there? Fall asleep yet? How would these fit in here? 3, 4. Does that go that way? No. 3, 5 would fit in the bottom. I'm going to have more than that. There we go. Phoenix Knight, okay, this is making me nervous and organizing. Also, sorry for stepping away. Now you're doing a thing that's totally cool. Totally cool. I understand channel stuff, dude. I'm good with that. Just thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Legislative might have to go in here with this one as well. But yes, there is going to be a lot of organizing. So those of you who really like to get your organized chickens going, this is the way to do it. I think I'm going to have to put the crisis chits and everything in here as well. Because I don't see just having one thing for like 20 counters. This is all left side of the board. And others. China acted. China acts. Those are more I'm going to put in here because that goes with current U.S. turn. So that's going to go in this little bag with the dicks. Right there. All right. I got 3 more of these stupid things. Yeah, I'll check out your end of June recap. Phoenix, definitely. Guys, check out Phoenix Knight's channel. He's got some really cool stuff going on. A lot of gameplay. Fantastic guy to hang around with. He's really cool. So check out his channel. Phoenix Knight. Let's get all this stuff in here. This is all the administration stuff, which is in the central portion of the boarding area. Actually, legislation could go in here as well. Friends and opponents in Congress, they're going to go in here. Yeah, it's taking shape. Don't worry about doing all this stuff right from the word jump if you're not that familiar with the game. Just, you know, as you take stuff apart, if it looks similar, leave them together in a pile. That way they'll be easier to find. POTUS, yes. Yes. Not sure. Yes, these go. Oh, public approval. We need that one. Those go in there. Public approval, that's going to go here as well because that's another singular track counter. China, Russia encounters. We're going to be in number 6. And the rest of them, I'm just not sure where they would go, where they're going to be used. So I'm familiar with about 90% of the counters in this game. I'm good with that. Helps with the initial organization immensely. Yeah, you guys can go in here. Probably ought to get a small baggie to put the counters in so that way they're separate. It makes getting all this China and Russia stuff organized easier. Or put them in, I don't know, there's a awful lot of, let's throw them in there. Counters, 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 counters. And I'm not entirely sure where this stuff right here gets used. No, this goes Rogue Ally. That goes with the turn track. I'm not sure where I'm going to put that. I'll probably put them in here as well. Yeah, I'll put them in there with the dicks. Okay. Boom. That's filling up pretty quick. For now, I have these little bags that these things came in, and I'm going to put the ones that I don't know about right in here, fold it up real small, put it in there, and call her done and dilly. Oi. Is there anything here that you want to see, Phoenix, or anyone else who is watching? Thank you very much for coming out this evening, guys. I appreciate it. Anything in particular, I would be more than happy to dig something out and go over it. Should you so wish. Should you so not wish, just the same. Alright, so we'll take that. We'll put it in here. Call her done. We'll put the dice in here with this one. That way I know which one is cabinet stuff. There we go. Done. Pow. Storage. Now the cards. You know what? Let's need to know how many of these. Yeah, I'm also going to send some sleeves along with the game when I give it away. So that way if someone wants to, they don't have to worry about rounding up sleeves. If they want to sleeve their cards, they don't have to. I'm not a sleeve snob. I don't sleeve all of my cards. I don't know for sure. I probably will. It would be easier to mix them up. I've got my copy waiting to be delivery unboxed, but I don't know if I'm going to deep on it between you, Jester, and several others. No problem. No problem, dude. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I gotta sell spark plugs in the morning, and it's 8:30, and I think I want to unwind. So, guys, thank you very much for watching. We're going to go ahead and call this a stream. Thanks for watching. It's awesome. And Appa Chatter, if I win the giveaway, I may have found a use for baggies from sleeves I use for the cards. Yeah, dude. Use whatever you need to until you know exactly what you're going to do. I mean, this is initial storage, and I may come up with something better, but for now, it's just going to have to do. I'm good with it. But thanks for coming out. Those of you who popped in the chat, SMR, Appa Chatter, Phoenix Knight, Doug Hunt. We've got Eric C., Ron McGrath, P-Jet. Guys, thank you very much for coming out. Means a lot. I'm glad I finally got this game. And next time you see me, it's going to be to set up the sandbox. Hopefully in the next couple of days. I don't want to put it off, but I plan on doing it all right here for you. Guys, thanks very much. This has been Chris the Lower Slower Board Gamer. Yeah, keep on rolling.